including me. My life is...
Hello, visionaries. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Marisa Talbert. I am the founder and CEO of Talbert Law Office, your favorite go-to legal resource for all things business, nonprofit, and intellectual property law. As a lawyer who practices business law, I see many of the mistakes that business owners make on a daily basis. Whether it's not reading or understanding contracts, failing to protect the company's intellectual property, not having the proper business structure or not maintaining compliance within the business structure that you have, not having adequate resources to start the business, the pitfalls are plenty. However, I'm also a business owner serving other business owners. And every day I'm also learning and growing in my capacity as a CEO of my law practice. Since starting my practice in 2018, I've had to learn how to curate my offer, price my services, structure my business, develop hiring practices, and how to acquire and retain clients. In addition to all of that, I'm still learning how to market and sell, train my employees, and manage and oversee the work product from the law firm. I say all that to say, as a business owner, I understand how difficult it can be to run a business, especially as a solo entrepreneur. So in this video, I want to offer you to consider 3 people that you need on your team as you grow your business. So let's jump right into it. Number 1 is a business banker. A business banker typically works with businesses with an annual revenue of less than $5 million and credit needs that are less than $1 million. If you are a business that exceeds that threshold, you'd generally be referred to a private or a commercial banker. When you open a business account, most banks require you to schedule an appointment, come in person, and sit down with one of their representatives to review all of the paperwork necessary to open your account. It can be really inconvenient to the point where you wonder why you can't just go to a bank teller to get this done. But when a bank forces you to sit down with one of its representatives, it's the bank's way of courting you because the bank wants you to trust it with your money. And the representative that assists you with opening that business account is usually a business banker who will now manage and oversee your business account. So business bankers help their clients successfully manage their business finances by offering services and available products such as stocks, bonds, loans, trade lines of credit, real estate, insurance policies, and so much more. And knowing your banker is all about relationship building because when you need something financially related, your business banker should be your go-to. Your banker can help make introductions to other partners that can help you facilitate the broader goals in your business, such as introducing you to an investor or even a business grant before that grant is made available to the public. When the PPP loans were made available, you better believe that the small business owners who had a relationship with their business banker had their PPP loans submitted and approved before they were even made available to the public. Furthermore, your relationship with your business banker can help save you money in the long run. When you need to finance an asset for your business, whether it's a building, equipment, or even a car, you can access that financing from your banker, which is more likely to offer you lower rates and more competitive deals, as opposed to trying to rely on the other party in the actual transaction. For example, if you're planning to purchase a car for business purposes and you know that it's going to be financed, you can get pre-approved for your loan through your bank before you ever step foot in a car dealership. That way you've secured financing and there's no chance of an increased loan rate as compensation for the dealer arranged financing. The point here is to establish and strengthen a relationship with your bank and your banker. Touch base with your assigned banker at least quarterly. And when you have an established relationship with your banker, you evolve from an account number to a personal contact. And when you become a personal contact, it allows your banker to advocate and champion your business. And it makes it much more easy for you to open new accounts, apply for loans, access other financial services, and just overall receive solutions to your problems much more quickly. All right, number 2, you need a business lawyer. As a business lawyer, of course, a lawyer was going to be on my list. So hiring a lawyer should be a priority when you are starting a business. Now, I'm not saying that you need to rely on a lawyer for every single thing in your business, but a good lawyer can help you set the proper foundation for you to build your business upon. This includes establishing the proper business structure for your company's needs, drafting contracts to protect you and your business assets, protecting your intellectual property, and preventing you from lawsuits. Starting and managing a business has so many legal pitfalls, and many business owners don't grasp the importance of legal guidance until it's too late. As a result, business owners often find themselves in unnecessary legal disputes involving vague or incomplete contracts, paying fines and penalties for failing to maintain legal compliance with state and federal agencies, or losing their brand for failing to protect their intellectual property. So it's nice to have a lawyer on the ready. It's always an immediate advantage to have a lawyer who knows your business if you're threatened with legal action or if you need to enforce your rights through legal action. The last thing I will say about the attorney piece is just because you've worked with an attorney before does not mean that you have a go-to attorney. I notice that many of my clients call me their attorney because I've represented them in one or more matters. But I'm not their attorney. I am just the attorney who has represented them in a particular matter, whether it was their business formation or their trademark or whatever the service is. I am only a person or company's attorney if they are paying me on a monthly retainer, which means that I will oversee and handle all of their business matters as the general counsel to their business. This is important to understand when working with attorneys. The reason for this type of practice with most, if not all, attorneys is based on the law. The law places a certain liability on an attorney based on how they interact with a prospective or current client. Most states also require that if a lawyer is going to provide services and be paid at least $1,000 for that service, then there needs to be a written contract in place, which requires an attorney to initiate a new contract for each new service. So, for example, if I have a client that I am handling a trademark matter for, they've signed the contract for me to handle the trademark matter only. If that same client comes to me to draft or review a contract while their trademark is pending, the old contract does not include me reviewing or drafting a contract. It only included the trademark matter. So I have to generate a new contract for this new service. And the reason why this is important is because if you do not have an attorney on your team, then even if you work with an attorney previously, that attorney does not have to guarantee their availability to you for a new service. So you may have worked with an attorney for your trademark matter, but then you need them again for something else and they may not be available to you for whatever reason. They may be at capacity and they're not taking on new clients, or their prices may have changed and you can no longer afford that pricing. For whatever reason that you all can't work together again, that attorney does not have to make themselves available to you because they're not your attorney. I hope that makes sense. Additionally, most attorneys are not general practitioners. We niche down to a very particular area of practice in the law so that we can become experts in our field. So if you've hired a lawyer to help you with planning an estate, that does not mean that that lawyer can also help you file your trademark. So these are some of the things to keep in mind when looking to bring an attorney onto your team. Last but not least, the third person or persons that you need on your team is a bookkeeper, accountant, and tax strategist. The reason why I've compiled these three functions into one is because this role can be played by one person or it may be played by three different people. Depending on your own skill set, you might be able to manage your own bookkeeping through QuickBooks or some other kind of financial software app, and then hire an accountant who prepares your tax returns every year for your business. But I want to quickly break down these roles. So a bookkeeper is responsible for providing accurate, up-to-date financial information for your business. My bookkeeper prepares a monthly statement that tells me what I earned each month versus what I spent each month. And my spending is categorized based on the business expense that it falls under. So for example, if I purchased business cards, then my bookkeeper would categorize that under a marketing expense. Sometimes in a month, my net revenue can be lower than my expenses. So let's say from January to June, I earned $10,000 each month for a total of $60,000. Between January and May, I spent a total of $10,000, which would leave me with a balance of $50,000 at the end of May. But in June, I made $10,000, but I spent $12,000 for the month of June. So I still have enough money to cover the $12,000 in total. But for the month of June, my net revenue is a loss of $2,000. Does that make sense? So this is why bookkeeping is important, because you could have the money to spend, but it's also helpful to know how you are trending financially month to month. Your bookkeeping will tell you what is your profit or loss for each month. So when you have a loss, you need to see what happened during that month. Why was June so much different than January through May? Was this something that was planned for? Did we expect to spend $12,000 in June? And if you only look at the big picture, you may not realize that you took a loss in June because you know that you had the $50,000 in your account to cover the $12,000 that you spent. A bookkeeper should also maintain your balance sheets, which provides your assets and liabilities and may have nothing to do with your actual cash flow. Assets and liabilities have to do with what the business owns, which could include cash, but it looks more broadly at real estate, intellectual property, and tangible assets such as equipment, a car, inventory, those types of things. Accountants, on the other hand, analyze and review the financial statements and documents that is created by the bookkeeper to prepare and file the business's annual tax returns. I meet with my accountant on a quarterly basis to review financial records, analyze any risk, and to advise on business decisions that I'm planning to make. So again, your accountant can be your bookkeeper, but that's not always the case. Then you need a tax strategist. And your accountant should definitely be your tax strategist. A tax strategist advises on the financial areas of your business that need more efficiency and cost savings. I always say that an accountant should not just account for your money, but that they should be invested in your business enough to help you lower your tax burden and maximize your tax benefits. And that is the purpose of a tax strategist. So to wrap up, the 3 people that I highly recommend for any business owner to have on their team is a business banker, a business lawyer, and a bookkeeper, accountant, and tax strategist. And the bookkeeper, accountant, and tax strategist could be all in one or 3 in 3. So I hope that was helpful. Let me know your feedback in the comments. And if you could choose the banker, the lawyer, or the accountant to add to your team today, which would be your priority? Let me know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And as always, this is Talbert Law Office, your favorite go-to legal resource for all things business, nonprofit, and intellectual property law. And I'll see you in the next video.